Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here to do another review for Power Season 6. This is episode 8-ish. I don't know. But the episode is called Scorched Earth. Really, really good episode. Not without its flaws. You know, we have a issue picking at those scabs, and that's what I call the flaws. I feel like I need to pick at them and question them, but we do better when we don't pick at them because it just frustrates all of us, doesn't it? But nonetheless, this episode, although full of flaws, was really, really, really a great episode. The acting, the dialogue, the momentum of the show, all really, really impressive for this episode. Now, we're leading up to either one or two more episodes before the season, mid-season break. So things are really, really starting to gain a lot of momentum. I want to welcome all of my new honeybees. A lot of you guys were sent over here from Stanley and Lynette's channel. Shout out to Stanley and Lynette doing what they got to do to make it happen as a couple, as a team, as a family. I really admire you guys and thank you guys so much for the recommend. Welcome to all the new honeybees. Okay, welcome to the tribe. Take off your shoes, sit a spell, make yourself comfortable, okay? Everybody, remember the subscription button is your friend. So there's a notification button right next to it. Don't forget the thumbs up. It's like honking at me when I'm sitting on the front porch. Hey, Miss Honey, okay? You just saying how you doing when you hit that thumbs up button. Also, comment down below. We like to talk about it down below. And down below is where we pick at all the scabs. Let's talk about this episode. Tommy is coming undone. He's sitting in the car. He's got Cash in the back seat. He's got the roses right there on the seat next to him. He looks completely in shock, stunned, if you will. All right. And next thing we see is him in the house with Cash's father. I think his name is Kadeen. And Kadeen is being played by, I don't know, but the guy played on Grey's Anatomy, and Cash is still asleep. Cash stayed asleep this whole episode. Like, I don't know if we'll ever hear any dialogue from Cash again, which is perfectly fine with me since the actor who plays Cash. Anyway. So he tells Kadeen is like, you had any idea who did this? No, I don't know who did this, but I'm going to find out. Leaves there on his way out. Obviously, I don't know what he did with Cash all night, but obviously he didn't drive to the next state because here comes Blanca walking up to his car as he's walking up to his car. And she wants to talk to him about where his whereabouts were last night. And I know you know about your girlfriend being killed. He was like, yeah, I know. You don't seem shocked. No, I'm not. I was there. I cried over her body. Like, I'm upset about it too. And I just hope you guys find out who did it. Where were you? I was at the mall with Cash buying an engagement ring. Okay. Now, again, he's coming undone. Like doop 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 doop. Those are the you know, the synopsis snapping in his brain. Like, he is not well. He is not well. And he is very physically menacing and but Blanca holds her own. She, backs him down and tells him she realizes when he says that he was there, just the look on his face and the look in his eyes, that he did not kill Keisha. So she tells him not to take matters into his own hand. Boo. Gets in the car and he leaves. All right. So then we see where he's holding that ring that he's gotten from the mall and he's looking at it, and he just, he keeps the tears kind of loaded, fully loaded in that bottom eyelid. They don't fall, but they are there under red rimmed eyes, and he is so heartbroken. He's more heartbroken over Keisha than he ever was over Holly. ever. Now, maybe that's the fact that when he killed Holly, when he strangled her out, he called Ghost immediately. Okay, they hid the body together. Okay, but now you can't call Ghost because you and Ghost ain't friends no more. Okay, but Ghost does call him and does ask him, did you do what you were supposed to do? Did you hide the gun? And he lies and says that he did hide the gun. Now, this is what you need to know in this episode. No gun. There is no gun in the elevator. There is no gun in the elevator. He was supposed to hide the gun in this building where Ghost was going to be with another individual so that Ghost can kill that individual, and he does not hide the gun. There is no gun in the elevator. There is no gun that is discharged in this entire episode, which is kind of unprecedented for Power. There's always a gun being discharged on Power. No gun this episode. Lot of dying, but no shooting. But we're going to talk about all of it, okay? So, let's see. So he tells Ghost, yes, I hid the gun and you have no problems. It's all said and done. Now, Ghost, I think, can sense something, but he doesn't really have time to really focus on it. He decides he's going to go down to his warehouse, Tommy is, and he wants to meet up with his boys and talks to his boys. And he feels like he's not going to have a problem with Ghost at all because he didn't hide the gun, and this within itself should take care of Ghost. Well, he sneaks up on his warehouse and he sees that his warehouse is being raided. And not only is it being raided, but his boys is being pulled out in handcuffs. Now he's hiding behind some metal barrels a couple of feet away, and Turtle looks up and he sees him and he alerts 2-Bit right next to him, and they see him and they think, oh, you did this, you called and you set us up and to have this place raided and to have us arrested. And Tommy looks at them and he is like, son of a fish stick. He thinks it's Ghost. He thinks Ghost called the police on his warehouse. Now, no one has mentioned at all Grimace. The fact that Grimace had his head blown off. The fact that Dre got away. No one said a word about it at all. No one's mentioned Grimace. Grimace has not come up at all. No one even fathoms that it could be Dre who is the one that killed Grimace. I mean, do they think that Grimace is still holding Dre in a warehouse somewhere? Scabs, I can't pick at them. I can't allow myself to pick at them. But let's move forward. So then he goes over to see Tasha and Tariq, and he tells her and Tariq that this is it. He really believes Ghost did this. Tasha kind of confirms that Ghost is moving crazy. At the same time, Tasha and Tariq are fully aware that Tommy is not well. Like, he has this energy, like any second he could pull out a weapon and kill everybody in the room. You know what I mean? Like, they can tell that he is not well at all. Now, he's already gotten a call from James. He knows that James knows that he has betrayed him. He tells James, you killed Keisha. What the heck? No, I did not kill Keisha. Why would I kill Keisha? Keisha's dead. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's really talking about Keisha. Nobody's really thinking about Keisha, even Tasha, right? So that's when after he gets that call, he goes over and talks to Tasha and Tariq, and they know to play it cool because they don't want him to go Katie Kaboom. I'm going to kill James. Okay, and I'm not asking your permission. I'm just letting you know. Everybody happy with that? Everybody copacetic with that? And they know they must say, yes, we good with that. Yes, we're Gucci with you killing my husband, ex-husband, and my father. I'm Gucci with that. So he leaves there and he goes back to his loft. Walking down the corridor of the loft, getting his keys out. He's getting ready to go inside. I don't know why. When you're at war with somebody and people are getting locked up left and right, why you would just go back to the comfort of your own home. But that's another scab. He hears a voice from the back, and it's Benny. Benny's walking up from the end of the corridor. He's got his hands in his pocket, and he says, you know what? You lied to me. I know you had something to do with Proctor's death. Who told you that? Where did you get that from? Ghost told me that you killed Proctor. Oh, he is livid. At the same time, he was like, look, no, and Benny pulls out a knife. Of all things, you go to get rid of Tommy with a knife? A knife? Not a machete, not a sword, but a knife. Okay? It's a small struggle. You know, of course, knife, right in Benny's heart. Turns it. Backs up off of him. And Benny's like, I was like, don't pull the knife out, Benny. Don't do it. Benny pulls the knife out. Blood. He takes the knife out, takes one step, takes another half a step more, and boom, falls dead. Benny's dead. Now, him and his gang is so big that they were able to back off Vince and his gang. But he don't have nobody outside waiting in the car. He came by himself. And in a narrow corridor, he fights with probably one of the most vicious killers out here with a knife and winds up dead. Okay. Let's now talk about Tasha. You guys, Tasha is doing fine after blowing Keisha's head off. She's down at the daycare, and Euphoria is there. Now, I know her name is Epiphany, but I prefer, for the sake of sarcasm, to call her Euphoria. Okay? Euphoria is there, and she's handing her off some money, doing a money exchange, and James walks in, and he sees the tail end of that money exchange, and he says right out, now, Tasha, I know you ain't selling dope out of this doggone daycare. Mind your business, goes. What is it that you want? You need to mind your business. I better not find out that you running dope out of here. I know that. He scolds her and tries to chastise her, and he gets scolded. Ninja, mind your business and get the heck out of my shop. They're supposed to go and meet Tyreek's teacher. They don't get a chance to meet Tyreek's teacher together because she's busy. She got things to do. He's got to handle it. I don't have time for this right now. All right. He goes on to see the teacher. Now, the teacher, got a little problem. He got a habit, and a rabbit. Anyway, he goes on and on about how excellent Tariq is as a student. Also, it's really great that he also, with everything he does in school, working so hard, he's also has a part-time job. A part-time job, excuse me, this is what Ghost said. Yeah, he's working down there at your wife's daycare. And Ghost is like, huh. So he's putting the money exchange together in his mind. And he's also putting together that Tariq is supposed to be working hard. And he realizes instantly that Tasha and Tariq are working together. So Tasha comes home and lets herself into her own home with her own key. And she turns around and James is sitting right there in the dining area with his legs crossed. James, what the freak are you doing here? James says, tell me you and Tariq not running dope out of the daycare. Please, please, please tell me that y'all not running dope. Okay, no problem. She don't have no problem looking him in the eye. Look me in the eye and tell me, Tasha. She don't have no problem with it because she looked Keisha right in the eye before she blew her brains out. So she looks at him and says, Tariq is not running drugs out of the daycare. She goes on, walks on off to the refrigerator. And he is telling her, you're lying. You're going to get him killed, Tasha. I am doing the exact opposite. I'm trying to keep him alive and keep him safe. Something we were supposed to do as a family. If you don't cut this out, I said, I'll call and get your business shut down. And I'll sue you for custody and take Yaz. You is not finna take Big Mama's little girl. You is not finna take Big Mama's little girl. I'll tell you that right now. And she tells him, are you threatening me? Well, if you're going to threaten me, then you're not going to do a doggone thing, because I will go straight to the police and tell them that you killed Terry Silver. That's what I thought. And she turns and walks off, baby. When I tell you, he was on her so fast. Arm, pushed up against the refrigerator. Get off of me. Get off of me. You get your hands off of me. At this point, she really feels like she can get him off of her. She can fight him off of her. She can give him enough vibrato or bravado, whichever one it is, to get him off of her. Back up. How dare you manhandle me? And she realizes when he gets up on her real tight and I will scream, and covers her mouth and gets right in her face. That look in her eyes, it's almost like he blacked out. In a fit of rage, he was on her so hard and so fast, and you can see in her eyes that her life was flashing by really, really quickly. James! Something clicked. He pushed himself off of her, and he, I was like, ooh, girl, you don't do this. Don't do this. You can't confront him like this. I'm like, Tasha, look, you can't do this right now, girl. You cannot be in a place where you have zero protection, meaning a gun or a gigantic man there to protect you. You cannot do this. You got to get this man up out of your space. She realizes it now. And he just tells her. She says, you have to put your hands on me again, I'll kill you. One time. Oh, yes, the crow is going to crow. The cock will crow 3 times for James in this episode. If you ever put your hands on me again, I'll kill you dead. You a what? Storms out. Oh, it's a moment. It's a huge moment. It was so surreal. Then we see where Ghost takes a burner phone back over at the club that's never open, calls the police and tells them that drugs are being sold out of Tasha's baby daycare. And the police go over there and raid it. Now, she's in there. She's fine. She's talking to Euphoria and the little boy. And the police come in and search the place. And when they search the place, they find bupkis. But that don't change the fact that Euphoria is frightened. She is scared. She's got her son there to think about. She ain't selling no more drugs out the club, and neither are her girls. Like, this is done. It's a wrap. It's over. Like, you got too much heat on you right now, especially with your ex, because they call her Mrs. St. Patrick, and she told Blanca, she said Blanca's the one that led the raid. She told Blanca, you know good and goddamn well what my name is. It's Green. It's too late now. People know you're St. Patrick, right? So, Euphoria leaves up out of there, okay? And Tasha is thinking to herself, that son of a fish stick, okay? So then we see where Q returns. She in there working on looking over the books and all that, and Q walks in. Now, he says, I heard you had a little trouble today. Now, y'all know I think Q might be a narc. I really do feel like he might be a narc. And if he's not a narc, meaning working for them FBI boys, he is probably a drug kingpin himself. And maybe Zig, whatever his name is like one of his premiers, like his top premier. Like maybe Zig is his Tommy. Maybe he's the ghost for the other side of town. I'm just guessing, but he just seems like he knows way too much. I mean, I don't know if he know Euphoria or whatnot, or he just did some research, but he ain't just no construction worker. And he offers to handle the ghost situation for her. And he sees where she's got a bruise on her arm from where Ghost yoked her up really tightly. And he did this to you. Some ninjas just do not know when to quit. And she tells him, look. Ooh, she gathers him. Okay, I like you a lot. You're solid. You're strong. You look like you got a solid, strong place in this world. You know what I'm saying? You look like you swinging a really heavy, strong lifestyle out here that I could really, get with, and I would love to be a part of it, just taste a little something of what it is you got going on. But I don't need nobody to see about me, to take care of me. I can take care of myself. I got this. And he turns and he walks off. I wanna get to know you. I want us to be y'all kiss one time. Y'all ain't never been out nowhere and had no dinner. What's all this fervor and passion? Like you got a child of your own, so you say, Q, you fixing to run up in the middle of Tasha's mess? Huh? Not knowing her from Adam's house cat? It don't seem rational, but that's another scab, right? Anywho, she says, come here. And she, it goes off. Oh, okay. I was like, Tasha, what is you doing? First of all, it's murder afoot, and you one of the murderers. You don't have time to be canoodling and hunching and grinding with Q, aka the narc, in your daycare that was just raided. It's a ridiculous notion. Well, he comes riding in like a black knight. No. Tommy comes over, like I said, and her and Tariq instinctually know that they cannot go against Tommy. They can't argue with Tommy. He tells her that Keisha was killed, and she has to fake this. Keisha is dead? Why didn't you tell me? Well, I know y'all didn't have the best relationship, but she was still my sister. And Tariq is watching the whole thing. He's listening and watching and listening. He knows his mother. He knows Tommy somewhat. He knows that Tommy is undone and that he has to stand still, make no sudden moves, because you don't want to anger him. You don't want to get that side to really fully open up for you guys. So he is just looking and listening and letting his mama handle it. And she tells Tariq, she didn't tell Tariq, she told Tommy, Tariq said, I understand you got to kill my daddy, and I'm with it. And she says, we understand. We understand that what you got to do. And when Tommy leaves on out, it's a moment of relief. They're so glad they got him on the other side of the door. All right. He sees the bruise on her arm, and he wants to know how she got that bruise on her arm. He goes through this. Your daddy did this. Maybe Tommy is right, that we do need to get rid of him. He's not going to stop. Why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me this happened? Listen, I'm doing what, do you know about Keisha? Did you know about Keisha being dead already? And she was like, he was like, did you have something to do with it? And she was like, I have to do whatever I have to do to protect you, to take care of you, to take care of us, to take care of this family. I'll do whatever I have to do to protect us. Okay? And he was like, why didn't you tell me you killed her? And she has this moment where she wants to have this crack in her voice and this breakdown, but she doesn't really seem bothered to me that Keisha is dead. Nobody really seems to be bothered that Keisha is dead, with the exception of Tommy. And so she says, I'm going to take care of you. He said, I should be the one taking care of you, Mom. And she was like, oh, okay, you're right. Oh, and she just concedes. And she feels like, oh, yeah, you and I are definitely in this thing together. So later on, we see where Blanca and Stacks come over to see Keisha, to see Tasha. and they want to talk to her about possibly, did James kill Keisha? Keisha's dead. Oh yes, I heard about that. Did any news that y'all hear? And Stacks was like, come on, let's not even talk about that. Did James kill Keisha? No, where did you get that from? Come on, you can tell us. Now you busy protecting him. He's not gonna protect you. And in her mind, she flashes back to the daycare being raided. She flashes back to the first episode of the first season where she realized that he was pulling away from her, pulling away from the drug game. And all of these things, she flashes back to when he yoked her up and had her up against the Frigidaire, and she was so frightened. She realizes, yeah, I've got to stop protecting myself. James did not kill Keisha, though. He did kill Terry Silver. Well, where's your proof? Do you have any proof? Listen, I can't prove it, but let's say one were to look by the old decommissioned airport in an abandoned lot there, one may find a car, and in that car, one may find a body in the trunk. I don't know for sure. I can't say for sure that's what you may find, but you may want to follow those instructions to a T. And it is turning into this quagmire, murder, and I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy how everything that each character is doing is running them up against another character. Mostly it intersects with James and what he got going on. But we're going to talk about it. First, let's talk about all the extra stuff. Now, we see where Dre has basically ratted out Tommy. Y'all, you know, Tommy had him yoked up. He killed Grimace. Now he's in the car with Blanca. He want them to leave him alone. And she's saying, you got to give me something. She pulls out that doggone tracker, that ankle bracelet, and she was like, you were desperate to get this off of you, but now I see that you've gotten comfortable with it off. And he tells her, look, run the tracker. You will see that I was kidnapped. Tommy kidnapped me. Okay. And at the location where it's shown on that tracker, that's his warehouse. That's where he have all his weight, his boys, his guns, the whole works. If you go there, I'm sure you'll be able to find what you need. Gets on out the car. He is so satisfied. Absolutely, he is satisfied. Then we see where Tate tries to take charge of his campaign and of Ramona, and he drags James. He talks about him being a thug, and he's no good for this campaign, and we need to do away with him. And did he tell you why he didn't show up at the announcement? Family emergency, I think, is what he told me. Now, she is just listening. She doesn't care what Tate has to say, and he says James has got to go. He's a liability. He cannot be on this campaign. And she said, I agree with you. I'm with you. And he's like, ha ha ha, my sister. Loyalty. Yeah, definitely what a man likes to see in a woman. Yeah, that's what she was waiting on. She was waiting on your approval, Tate. Anyway, we also see where Dre calls Jason, okay, in an effort to get back in good with him after having missed the meetup that James set up for them earlier on. So he happens to tell Jason that he is going to need a distro because he knows for a fact from his connects on the inside that Tommy is going to be raided by the FBI. And that means that he's going to need a new distro to move weight. Okay, and I could be that person for you if you just give me that opportunity. And Jason, I feel like, concedes to it. Now, he doesn't admit it to James later, but he does kind of seem like, oh, okay, let me investigate. Let me check it all out. Okay, so then we see where a confident Dre decides that he is going to put together his own collection of premieres, okay? And he giving them a lowdown. He giving them the pep talk, you know what I'm saying, like Top Gun. And it's going about to get lit. It's about to rain money around here, you know what I'm saying? Y'all going to have more money than y'all know what to do with. I'm with the drugs going to be here in a minute now, and I'm going to meet the Connect. Y'all sit tight, drink up, boys. It's about to be lit. Oh, he feels really, really good. Okay. So we see where later on Dre is put in this position where he actually is taking the bait for something that Ghost did. But first, let's talk about how Stax and Blanca got together. Blanca goes to see Stax, and she tells him that she believes him that it's a lot more going on underneath than what they see. She's always known this. She's just fishing for some type of clue. She tells him that Keisha is gone. Who killed her? And of course, Stax thinks it's Tommy. Of course he does. It's Tommy. Tommy did it. He feels like I think he was told last episode that he did it. He just couldn't prove it. And she says, no, he didn't do it. He was actually in mourning when I saw him. He was in shock. So I don't think he did it. He said, well, the only way we can get Tommy is to pressure Tasha. Okay, that's why they went to Tasha's house. That's why they pressured her about James, okay? Pressured her to give them something. When she gave them the information about Terry Silver, they go immediately by themselves, not a SWAT team, not a forensic crew, none of that. They go and find the car. The car is open. Of course, it's dusty and covered and all of that. Now, here's the thing about a dead body. You can smell a dead body 12 miles away if the wind is right. Now, you might not be all offended, but you might be like, a dead body is very difficult. Very difficult. It starts to break down. It starts to decompose. Not just the smell, but the oozing, all of the water and the fluid and everything just gets jelly, and it would have seeped through the car almost. He's been dead for what seems like months, but obviously it was just a few days or so, I guess. I don't know, because his body is still in the trunk, Terry Silver. Now, so they opened the trunk. They got, I was like, you would have been like that once you pulled on the lot. Like, a body really, really, really smells horrible. And it's a smell you can't get out of your head. Not for nada, right? So, Stax goes around the front of the car and peels around, looks under the front seat, and finds a cell phone. He takes that cell phone and he puts it in his pocket and doesn't tell Blanca. And later on, when he's at home, he gets a visit from Dre. But we're gonna talk about that. Now, let's talk about Tate again. Tate is giving James a textbook threat. He's gone over personally to let James know face to face that he know the kind of ninja he is. I know you're a glorified drug dealer. I know your name is Ghost. Okay? And you gonna back up off my campaign, go away and make no stir, or I'm a powerful person. I'm gonna make sure you are brought down. Toot sweet. In short order. And James is like, what the heck are you talking about? And they go back and forth with this sort of my cock is bigger than your cock dialogue that leads to James throwing Tate out. And even with that, Tate doesn't seem intimidated. He feels like, James was like, if I was a killer, I would have already killed you. And he was like, exactly. I'm too high profile for you to kill. You're not going to kill me. You know what I mean? Okay. Ain't nobody budge when Angela got killed. But your death supposed to bring down FBI agents and CIA, okay, from every which you wear. No, I don't think so, sir. I don't think so at all. Like I said, James sent him packing. Okay. And it's a moment because he tells Tate, you know what? You ain't got to worry about me. But I tell you what, check the paper tomorrow morning. And I think you'll find some news in there that's super duper interesting. Tate goes back to the headquarters. Ramona walks up. And he is like, you ain't got to worry about James no more. He is gone. We're going to do some master strategizing about the campaign. She was like, no, we won't be doing that. Actually, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be a part of your campaign. And you on your own. And he was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Just check the paper tomorrow. When she say that, he already know. He already know. Jig is up. Like they bailing on you. Like they set you up. you know, and they're dipping on you. So let's talk about James. So under the guise of looking for a new space, James is in this building. It looks like it might have been a federal building of some sort, a security building, because it's got one of those arches that people have to walk through in the airport to see if they have any guns or metal or anything on them. And he talks to the agent. The agent walks him down and says, make a decision fast. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to put the funds together. I'll call you tomorrow morning. We're going to make this thing happen. It's all a setup, really. We see where he has had Ramona, and I think her name is Lynette. Yeah, it's Lorette. Ramona and Lorette come down, and they've got a proposition for him. Basically, they want him to be Lorette's black friend that helps get the black votes, aka her lieutenant governor. Now, Ramona's co-signing it, Lorette is co-signing it. All they need to do is bring James on board. And for a moment, he looked like, do I have the audacity with all my bullshit to run for governor? Oh no, can I pull that off? Then we see where he goes and meets up with Jason, and he proposes an idea to Jason that he will they can use this building, go in 50-50 on this building, and we can use this as a legitimate resource, financial resource, and run the money through here, and go legit, right? Like, it's a good investment. And Jason's like, what? But still, y'all know how James is. James really, really sold it, and Jason is thinking about doing it. He says, meet me down at the building, and don't bring any guns because they have security down there and they're going to be checking for guns. You don't tell me what to do. Okay, just a suggestion, but I'm just saying, heads up. Later on, where we see where Jason is kind of going back and forth with his boy. He wants his boy to check out if Tommy got arrested. He wants his boy to see what's going on with Tommy and the Wade, if he's going to be in the game. Let me know. I'm going to see about this business deal. And his boy tried to give him the gun. He won't take the gun. His boy offers the gun again. No, the gun is not needed. I don't need any help. I'm going to go alone. Boy tries to give him the gun again. Jason, he goes through it just fine. So we know that Jason does not have a gun. He does have some weaponry, but he doesn't have a gun. They get ready to get on the elevator, and he lets him know that Dre called him, and that Dre thinks he can get back in with him as the distro. And James is like, it may not be a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? The guy knows what he's doing. He knows how to push weight, so it may not be the worst idea ever. They get on the elevator. They still small talking. James goes down to tie his shoe. He opens up that little small emergency door, the one where you get the phone out. and reaches for the gun. And at the moment he realizes the gun isn't there, Jason is getting a text. And the text is from Tommy. And the text says the ghost is going to try to kill you. And it's at this moment they start wrestling. Oh, on his watch, he pulls the pin out like 007, and it's one of those razor wires, and gets it around Ghost's neck, but he's got his hands there, And he wrestles it away from him and gets behind Jason and gets the wire around. Now, he's got just as much anger as he had with Tasha, but he didn't kill Tasha. He was able to stop himself from killing Tasha, okay? He really was. He was able to somehow keep himself from going too far. But all of that energy and venom and anger and he takes it all and he puts it into pulling this razor wire so tight around Jason's neck that he dies right there on top of Ghost. Ghost lets him down gingerly. Now, razor wire not just constricts you, but it cuts into the meat. It digs into the meat. Jason's head is almost severed. There's blood everywhere. He drags him out of the elevator, and now they're on the roof, and he lays the body there. Goes through the phone, and he sees that it was Tommy that texts Jason right before James had to kill him dead. And he also sees where Dre called, and he texts Dre and tells Dre to meet him down there at the address where Jason's body is and come to the roof, okay? And then he texts his boy and says, Dre double-crossed us. He texts Drago. Drago is Jason's boy. He texts Jason's boy and says, Andre double-crossed us, okay? And goes downstairs and gives the security guard a grip and tells him what to do. This is the dude that's coming up here. This is what he looks like. And when he gets in here, as soon as he gets on the elevator, you make the phone call to the police. And don't hand over the tape right away, because it's evidence that we may need to release later on. Okay? And you never saw my face. I do not know how much money that was, but that's a lot to achieve. Okay? When Dre gets the text about the connect, which is Jason, he goes down there. He don't think nothing of it. Goes through the metal detector, goes upstairs on the elevator. As soon as he steps off the elevator, there's the body. He's like, what the flip? At the same time, he's like, oh, I gotta find something. I gotta run. It's a security guard on top of the roof. And he's like, hey, you there. Now, you ain't seen this body this whole time. But now, you doing rounds. And you see Dre with a body. Scab, right? Dre of course, looks right up at the camera. Stop. He runs off. Now, how he got off that roof, how he got down the elevator shaft, how he left the building, I don't know. Maybe there's a ladder on the side of the building. Scabs. But later on, we see where Dre runs to Stack's house. I thought that's where he was going to stay, where he was going to hide out at. Stacks, you got to help me. You got to do this. James framed me for murder. You got to help me. Come on, man. You got to get them off my back. They're going to kill me, right? Okay? He's going to kill me. This double-crossing so-and-so is going to kill me. Stacks politely walks into the room, brings the phone out, which is in a evidence bag, and gives it to Dre and tells Dre to plant it in James's apartment. He tells him the apartment address. So you want me to plant this on James? This is what Dre said. And Stacks is like, I mean, yeah. And he's like, so we are framing James for murder, right? We're striking a blow against the justice system, all right? And this is the way to take him down. So, yeah, basically, I also want you to frame him for murder. Dre goes by Ghost's apartment and plants the phone in a very obvious place. Ghost, after he killed Jason, he goes back to his club that no one is ever at, and Benny is there. Benny say, you lied to me. All right? Huh? You told me Igor is the one that killed Proctor, but it was somebody else because Igor was out of the country. And James tells him, I told you that because that's what Proctor told me, which was kind of the truth. He has to protect Tariq, because if Benny find out that Tariq left the door open for Tommy, it's going to be a problem for Tariq. Benny tells him, tell me what it is you know, or I'm going to think that you killed Proctor. And he tells him, I really think it was Tommy. Tommy Egan? Yeah, Tommy. Because Proctor knew that was the only place he could hide, that Tommy went and looked for him. And he knew he had to lie and tell me Igor, because I wouldn't have let him stay if I knew that Tommy was after him. And Tommy been rolled for a long time, and I'm getting ready to take care of him. And Benny was like, nah. I'm going to go see Tommy myself. I'm going to see about him myself. Okay? That's when he goes over and gets dead, right? So James put that in place. Huh? Okay. Yeah. You talking about scorched earth. It's scorched earth. There's no way Tommy can go back. He may have survived killing Angela, but not planting that gun and putting him in a place where Jason could have easily killed him. Scorched earth. Him sending Benny over there and telling Benny that Tommy is the one that killed Proctor. Scorched earth. Okay? Okay? James killing Jason in the elevator. Scorched earth. All the way around. Tariq comes to see James. Now, okay, this whole day that James has gone through has driven him to drink. Okay, not your usual quick shots, baby. He is feeling just a little bit on the tipsy side. All his dealings with Tasha and Jason and Tate, this Keisha situation, Benny, Tommy, and now Tariq. Tariq comes and he throws his key to his daddy's apartment down there. What's going on, Tariq? What's the problem? You think you done murdered up all these people and you finna go back to being just a regular old daddy. What's going on, Tariq? What's the problem? It's sort of like the truth comes up and out. The authentic truth of how Tariq really feels about his father. He tells him, he said, I'm not scared of you. I'm not a child. The only person that can turn me against you is you. You ain't never did a bucking thing for me. Okay? And every time, everything he says, James comes back with this really emotional, I'm your father, you don't talk to me like that. You change your tone. You know, he keeps trying to buck up at Tariq, but Tariq is steely cold. He is steely cold. He does not flinch. Okay? He does not stutter. Okay? I ain't your son. Everything you do is for you. It's always for yourself. You're so ducking selfish. I ain't your son. Stay away from me and stay away from her. I won't say it again. I won't say it again. And James runs up to him. He's right here in his face, and he says, I will kick your, and you don't. Tariq looked him right in his face. When I tell you he did not blink. Okay? No stuttering. He said, put your hands on Ma one more time, and I swear I'll murder you myself. That's a promise. Okay? I promise you that. James from that moment on did not look at Tariq. Now Tariq done wiggled away from him, and he's off to the side telling him all of this. After he tell him to his face, he walks off from this. And James don't look back. When I tell you he does not look at Tariq, it's this moment where everything that Tariq said was like a dagger of truth. And he couldn't look at Tariq. He couldn't look at him because he know Tariq is right. And he was feeling pricked and he was drunk. And he says, you still my son? Oh, you gonna walk away from your father? And he said, don't get it twisted. You may have given me life, but you were never my ducking father. Okay? And he walks out. Now that's how you scorch the earth, darling. That's how you scorch it. Ooh, it was good dialogue. It was a good moment. It was really about James trying to continue to buck up and swell up and control every situation with anger and fists and fury. But Tariq is like, nah. I ain't no child. Okay, I once was, but I ain't never going back. The things I've seen, the things I've heard. Oh, no. And it's the same thing that Tasha told James. He is never going back to be a child. Okay, it's been a long time since he was a child. Now, episode ends there, and Kanan called it. He called James's true nature. He did. He called Dre not being you being the ever able to trust Dre. Okay. He called it when he said Ghost would lose it all by his own doing. Okay. And he knew his work with Tariq was done. He knew that he had put enough in Tariq to be a huge catalyst to what brings Ghost down. And listen, let's remember that Elisa Marie still has a microchip. Okay, let's also remember that Tariq is still on videotape picking up Kanan's ashes. Okay, we can't forget that phone that was found in Terry Silver's car and now is implanted in Ghost's apartment. And we have to ask the question, who is Q? Is he this big wig drug dealer? What is he hiding from Tasha? Like, what is his role in this episode? Is he just fodder? I mean, in this season, he just fodder? What's up, you guys? Y'all tell me what you think. What did you guys think about everything that happened in this episode? It seemed like we buttoned up and neatened up a lot of things, but remember, we still have Tommy's boys are still in play. They may be locked up, but they think Tommy set them up. Also, we still have Jason boys still in play. Now, they think that Dre may have had something to do with it, but who knows? And we still got Benny's boys in play. You think they're going to let his death and / disappearance go without getting involved? I think not. And listen, let me just say this, okay? Let me just be honest about this. All right. What I don't understand is, where are all these bodies being hid? Where's all these bodies being drug off to? It's crazy to me. What did Tommy do with Benny's body, which was in the corridor of his own loft? Y'all tell me what you think. What did y'all think of this episode? Please put it down below. Y'all know we got to talk about the scabs. In this whole episode, it was a mess. Listen, Tommy said he was going to kill Ghost. I'm coming to kill you. Okay. Tasha said, you ever put your hands on me again, I'm going to kill you. Okay. And Tariq said, if you ever touch my mama again, I'm going to kill you. Okay. So Ghost has been threatened 3 times. He is at the very least going to get shot. I'm almost sure of it. So y'all tell me what you think of everything. Please, please, please put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah.